Oh, it's working. Look at that, mate. All right. And we are, well, we're not live, but I'm probably going to post this soon after this is recorded. I wanted to share my ever evolving and dynamic thoughts on time for yourself as a parent. And I understand that some parents don't really get this opportunity, and it's tough. That's why prayer, meditation, and like a form of self-healing, not necessarily from trauma. I'm talking about therapy stations are important. So hopefully this is collecting the audio somewhat well. I'm eating like a chocolate bar. Sorry. Maybe I should have stopped. Maybe I shouldn't eat chocolate bars while I'm recording. I don't know what to do with my hair. I don't, because it's in that awkward phase, in that awkward stage where hair products are starting to have trouble keeping the hair in place properly, and it's at a weird length where I can't exactly put it in a ponytail, because then it looks kind of stupid, because the ponytail is like, it barely holds all of the hair, so it's not quite long enough to fully go into a ponytail. But pomade and gel don't really hold it in place either. Now just kind of, yeah. We are back. I'm trying to get used to being in front of a camera more, recording myself and just sharing my thoughts freely. Being more articulate, being more vocal, driving out some of those ums and ands. Maybe not so much ands, but ums, thinking about what I'm going to say before I say it. With that being said, I just wanted to talk about parenting and then time for yourself and time for your kid. And I just wanted to say that it's not about you anymore, obviously, when you're parenting, when you have a kid, whether you're a single parent or whether you're in a relationship. But when you're in a relationship, that dynamic is completely different. But just don't forget to take care of yourself. Don't forget to take care of your mental health, your physical health. If you're consistently only getting 4 hours of sleep a day and you're not able to, for instance, take care of your hair for weeks at a time, if you're like a woman and you have long hair, right? Or let's say even like shower, you're not showering but every 3 or 4 days because you feel the need that, like, because you have too many like small kids, for instance, and you're just not taking care of yourself. Like, those are just some examples. Or you're right, skipping meals, losing sleep, and every once in a while that's going to happen because you have kids and because things happen in life. But that doesn't mean that needs to become the norm necessarily. It's still important to take care of yourself, to be able to take care of your kids, to be able to fill their cup. Sometimes you have to fill other people's cups from an empty cup, and that's understandable. But you can't go on doing that in the long run, because that can hurt you mentally, physically, and it affects everyone else. It affects your kids too, or your kid. Now, I'm a single parent, so I'm in kind of a different situation, and I always struggle with that time management and balance with how much direct time do I spend with my daughter when she's with me versus indirect time. Indirect time, I guess, I'm just making up these terms, right? But like, the way I see indirect time is like, I'm still there present with my daughter, but like maybe my sister or my mom is the main person taking care of her in that instance, right? Because I'm doing something that I have to take care of, or I'm just kind of relaxing. And then direct time with her is like more like I'm the one interacting with her right there in that moment. And just finding that balance is tough, But I mean, realistically speaking, and how you spend time with your kid is important too, but realistically speaking, are you going to be running around with your kid? Like, let's say your kid loves playing a game of tag with you, and you're both playing tag outside, right? And your kid can run around for a much longer period of time than you, but you need a break, right? You need to take a break from tag. You're not going to sit there and run around the house for 3 hours straight even though your kid might be able to do that, which is still really impressive for a kid, but you know that you need the energy to be able to cook for them later, to be able to read them a book, tuck them in the bed, give them a bath if they're too small. Like if, for instance, like my daughter, she's about to turn 3. You know, you need to compartmentalize those sections of energy so that you're able to get those things done throughout the day that you need to do as a parent. But then also for yourself. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with having hobbies, for instance, when you have a kid. And sometimes it sucks being a single parent, but on the positive note, whenever my daughter's not with me and she's with her mom, it gives me a little bit of time to pour into some of the healthy habits that really help me, like running, for instance, which is proven in almost every way to be able to like help you in a very positive way. Like running, jogging, going to the gym, or playing the piano. Like there's something about music that's really good for your soul, for your like your dopamine, your good hormones, and that stuff's like really important. Who's calling anyway? But yeah, that stuff's important. It's important to not completely like. And I know some people really enjoy spending time with their kids, and their kids are their life, and my daughter's my life too. So I don't want this to be misunderstood, but still having that part of yourself that identifies, that shows your identity, you know, and who you are. Not that your parenting side can't be your identity, but I just have never understood how that could be your whole identity, you know? And I guess there's nothing wrong with necessarily saying I do everything for my kids, but there's some stuff that you have to do for yourself so that you're able to grow and be the better version of yourself for them. Like let's say, for instance, like how are you going to teach them things? How are you going to be the example to them? You know, because they're watching that too. They're watching like, oh, okay, well, my mom spends every waking hour with us, or my dad spends, like, let's say he's like a stay-at-home dad, for instance, right, too, especially 2023, right? Times have changed, and my dad spends every waking hour with us. And like, let's say these kids are older now. It's different when they're infants, right? You need to, like, that infant needs attention almost at all times, because that infant can't survive on its own for very long. But you know, as they get older, those kids are seeing that example, and we grow more when we're outside of our comfort zones and in other societal circles, rather than just interacting with your family and only your family all the time, you know? And that comes with a balance too. I'm not saying do that all the time, you know, but at least, like, I wouldn't want my kids or my kid to see me and think like, oh, well, like, my dad only ever spends time with me. As in, like, my dad doesn't go to the gym. He, like, instead of going to the gym, he'll spend all that time with me. Or like, instead of reading a book, like good healthy things that are good for me, and I can read a book with her, like right beside her while I'm there. It doesn't mean I have to be playing with her 100% of the time right there. And I still pay attention to her, and things vary depending on their age, right? The amount of things that you can do. But I think our previous generation, at least with like my parents' generation, they always felt like it almost seemed, and I guess this is normal. This is probably just normal across every generation. Everyone, it's normal to lose some form of identity of yourself because you're trying to take care of your kids, and you're trying to show them, you're trying to guide them through life. You're trying to show them the example. But if you're trying to do that, that also means showing them good time management skills as they get older. And that doesn't mean you're calling it that. That just means you're showing that through your actions. Like, they're seeing you like, oh, okay, now we're going to the gym. He's dropping me off at the nursery, and he's going to go work out, because guess what? Like, working out is good. Like, once you're able to drop off your kids at the nursery, right? Things like that. Or, okay, now we're going to church, right? Like, we're speaking through the kids' perspective, right? Like, your kid's seeing you take him or her or them to church, and now you're getting a worship in for yourself. They're in the kids' classroom or whatever, and you know, they're getting their time with their instructor while you're getting your time, you know, that like spiritual side is being fed as well. And personally, I would recommend Jesus, but that's because that's my faith. It's Christianity. Jesus Christ is Lord. And that didn't sound very confident. No, Jesus Christ is Lord. There we go. I'm thinking about not cutting this out. Like, I'm just gonna make this a raw video. But, so, yeah, that's important. I think that's important, like through your actions. Like showing the example to your kids through your actions, more so than with your words. And showing them that it's okay for you to have hobbies, for you to have friends, even like adult friends. It doesn't mean you're hanging out with your friends all the time. Especially as a single parent, you already have limited time with your kids and you want to spend as much time as possible with your kids. Like for me, my only free day, like day where like I don't have my daughter and I'm not working is once every 2 weeks. And sometimes I wish that my daughter was with me on that day, that one day out of every 2 weeks, out of like every 15 days. But then I sit there and I think, wow, I'm glad that it's a blessing to actually have that day for myself, because I'm actually able to really take care of things around the house. Not that I can't do them with my daughter, but it gives you like some breathing room, if that makes sense to you, for you to like remember what you enjoy doing, and then doing those things that are good for you, you know, that are healthy for you, and taking care of business, whatever business errands that you have to take care of. Like, you know, for let's say that you have a kid that's almost 3 years old, like my daughter, right? And I want to go hiking, right? On that day, on that Monday, let's say I want to go hiking up like kind of a very steep mountain. Like realistically speaking, am I going to take my 3-year-old daughter up a very steep mountain hiking, right? Or let's say I want to go snowboarding. And like this is obviously with like a balance, right? I'm not going snowboarding like once a month or anything. I might go snowboarding once or twice a year because it's kind of expensive. That is the kind of like, I see that day as the time to do that. And I don't see anything wrong with that, especially if it's every once in a while, just getting away from your responsibilities or your duties, not entirely, but just momentarily, so that you can, I don't know, rejuvenate like mentally, spiritually, physically as well, and go snowboarding or go hiking, or even taking a nap. You know, some parents just never are able to take naps because of their circumstances. So then that one instance, it doesn't even have to be a whole day. It can be like for a couple hours in that one day. Thankfully, I'm blessed because I have a whole day every 15 days. On the days that I work, I don't really get that free time necessarily either, because my shifts are 13 hours long on the days I work, and I get my daughter on my days off. So that one day is like truly a blessing. If I don't want to do anything that day, well, I normally have to either way because I still have other responsibilities. But even if it's just to take a nap or sleep in a little bit longer, I think that does wonders to the human body, like to your psyche. And I think people are just now getting to a point where they're harping on this a little bit more, to take care of yourself. Self-care is like really important. And obviously, I will say it again, when you have kids, it's not about you anymore, obviously, you know, but there comes a point in time where you keep like trucking and going and you keep like running that rat race of like dozens of responsibilities without any breaks, and you're gonna crash, and then you're of no use to the people around you that you're supposed to be helping. And that's just the truth. And I've crashed before in the past, and now I've learned that last day that I have off, like every 15 days, I use it to like my advantage, and I really do use it for self-care, to take care of myself, to grow. And it also benefits Rosie, well, that's my daughter, because when I come back to see her, whenever I do see her again, if I've prioritized my time properly and I've used that day that I do have off where I don't see her wisely, I come back to her knowing more things, looking better, feeling more encouraged and more rejuvenated. I can be more present with her because I went and got on a roller coaster. And keep in mind, I'm not arguing that do this all the time or abandon your responsibilities. I'm talking about having some time, however small, some time that is just for you, that is healthy. And I don't think there's anything selfish about that whatsoever. But yeah, that's pretty much the point of the video, self-care. I'm using a new ring light, by the way. It's really cool. I want to eat this, but it probably won't look as good on camera, so we'll see. All right, guys, this has been Cheeseball here, Levi. I forgot to mention, like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about that video down at the bottom. Hit that notification bell on your way out the door. It's your boy Cheeseball here. I'm out. Where's my thing at? Oh, there it is.